Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new edition of Panorama News. It is 3 p.m. here in Cairo, time to bring you the latest news in the world of politics, business and sports. I'm Hala Al-Hamalay and I'll be updating you on the latest political news right after the headlines. Egypt and the United States begin strategic dialogue talks in Cairo. The Higher Electoral Commission to receive applications for observing parliamentary elections. And 2 Turkish troops killed in PKK suicide attack. Welcome back. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry and U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry launched on Sunday the Egyptian-U.S. Strategic Dialogue. In the opening session, Shoukry said that the launching of the strategic dialogue is a serious chance for the two sides to review the different parts of the Egyptian-American relationship and assessing this relationship in all respects. The Foreign Minister said that he hoped the dialogue would deepen bilateral cooperation between the two countries, especially in fighting terrorism, which threatens both countries. For his part, Kerry congratulated President Sisi and the Egyptian people for the inauguration of the new Suez Canal, stressing U.S. support for Egypt in its war against terrorism. Kerry said that the American people are committed to the security and economic support of the Egyptian people. He said that the friendship between the two countries is not based on some kind of perfect agreement, but it's based on intense awareness of the shared interests in areas of regional security and counter-terrorism. After the meeting, Shoukry and Kerry held a press conference in which Shoukry said that Egypt and the United States agreed on combating terrorism and extremism. Meanwhile, Kerry said that he appreciates Egypt's efforts in combating terrorism and violence, adding that terrorism in Egypt aims at creating chaos. And to shed more light on the Egyptian-U.S. strategic dialogue, we are delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Hassan Wagih, Professor of Political Science. Good day to you, Doctor.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Dr. Wagih, in your opinion, what is the significance of holding the Egyptian-U.S. strategic dialogue right now?
The significance is very good. It shows that Egypt wants to have strategic relations with several powers. The United States is one of them, and we should all combat terrorism. Egypt is launching its campaign against terrorism, and it should receive the support of everyone and every fair-minded person on the world. It is for Egypt, and it is for the world stability and peace.
Dr. Wagih, the Egyptian and American sides discussed various topics, including means of combating terrorism. How do you see the topics of common interest between Egypt and the United States?
I think that we should seek the word moderation. In the United States, there are so many people belonging to track diplomacy in the academia is trying to see who is moderate Muslim. And there are so many writings along these lines. And there are several definitions, by the way. I think that we should come to a political definition, socio-political definition of the term. And moderation is not only for Muslims. Moderation should be also for politicians, for every people belonging to any religious sect, because moderation is the only way that you can get peace and stability for the entire world. Mm-hmm. So I think that the idea now is not moderate Islam or moderate thinking, moderate people with all different affiliations.
Yes. Dr. Wagih, there has been a shift in the stance of the United States administration towards what's going on here in Egypt since the beginning of the revolution and until now. There has been various stances taken by the U.S. administration. How do you see the stance of the U.S. right now regarding what's going on here in Egypt?
I think I've heard your question. Barely I heard your question.
I was talking about the stance of the United States, which took various forms since the beginning of the revolution and until now. How do you read the stance of the U.S. administration towards what's going on here in Egypt?
I got it now. Mm-hmm. Yes, I think there should be a revision. There should be a move of revisionism on the part of the American politicians, the society, to take a strong stance against terrorism, not to support the terrorists in one way or another. Because if we say the Muslim Brotherhood are not doing it right and for the sake of real peace in the world, and they are trying to be submersive, trying to demolish their states, trying to mobilize people and mobilize negative energy, and they don't even try to themselves to revise their thinking. I think that the United States should take much more decisive stance toward those people, because Egyptians feel disheartened when they see that the Americans are trying to support those people in one way or another, rather than taking a decisive stance regarding what is to be correct, what is to be positive energy for everyone.
Yes.
So this is some Egyptians feel this is like sort of double standard. I think the United States in this strategic dialogue has to reconsider the situation, has to revise its moves, and we should come to an identification ground where we should be decisive in fighting terrorism and fighting the logistics of terrorism in a much more decisive and much more stronger way.
Well, Dr. Hassan Wagih, Professor of Political Science, thank you very much for being with us in this edition of Panorama News. And we move on, and ahead of the inauguration of the new Suez Canal, Prime Minister Ibrahim Mahlab inspected the Ismailia Public Hospital and the Ring Road, as well as all roads which lead to the venue of the celebration ceremony. Accompanied by the Ministers of Local Development, Health and Transportation, as well as the Governors of Cairo, Ismailia and Sharqiya, Mahlab was ensured that roads leading from Cairo Airport down to Ismailia had been successfully revamped. In his meeting with the staff of Ismailia Public Hospital, the Prime Minister stressed that it should be a model hospital. Mahlab was also ensured that the hospital is fully equipped with modern medical and pharmaceutical requirements. And for the latest developments on the new Suez Canal project and to follow the countdown for the official opening, visit the official website www.newcanal.suezcanal.gov.eg. And we move on with the local news. The Higher Electoral Commission said that it will be receiving requests from NGOs to observe the upcoming parliamentary elections starting August the 1st and until August the 20th. Spokesman for the Commission, Councillor Omar Marwan, said that the Commission will receive the applications from non-governmental organizations as well as local and foreign media outlets. He added that the move is part of preparations for the House of Representatives elections. And as we are approaching the inauguration of the new Suez Canal project, Nile TV's Linda Abdulatif visited Ismailia Governorate to know about the latest preparations of the inauguration ceremony. More in the following interview with Mr. Khalid Taha, the Foreign Republic Relations Officer at the Suez Canal Authority.
Right now in Ismailia Governorate, just 4 days ahead of the inauguration ceremony of the new Suez Canal project. And to update us more on the latest preparations, I'm being joined right now by Mr. Khalid Taha, who's the Foreign Public Relations Officer at the Suez Canal Authority. Sir, thank you so much for being with us today in Nile TV International.
Welcome, and most warmly welcome to the new Suez Canal. And we hope you a nice, successful day.
Now, let's start off first with the latest preparations that have been reached so far in regards to the inauguration ceremony that will be taking place next Thursday.
Preparations are working 24 hours, whether the air shows or the parades, the naval parades, or the main tents that will receive all the presidents and prime ministers and all the representatives all over the world. Up till this moment, we still doing many experiments to reach the final and top shape, because this is a world event. You are talking about the 21st century project. This project or the festival should suit the efforts exerted by the hero Suez Canal Egyptian workers, who have proved to the world that the Egyptian workers can accept a challenge and he can do the impossible.
Now, speaking about the inauguration of the ceremony, or the ceremony actually, could you please give us like a glimpse on the agenda or the program of the ceremony?
As we read in the media and the newspapers, it will take the naval shape. The form of the festival shall take the naval shape, because this is a maritime event. So there will be the main yacht that will carry the President Fattah Sisi on board, and he will sail many kilometers also in the new Suez Canal, and also all the representatives from all the Egyptian governorates will be on the two banks of the Suez Canal, also to salute also and to exchange greetings with the presidents, because those people are the hero. In fact, those people who are who financed the new Suez Canal, those people who dug and dredged the new Suez Canal, and also there will be some air shows also. The band is also from the military also shall play its instruments also and its plays. I think this festival also, or this event, shall be amazing and shall attract the attention of all the world.
Speaking about the attention and attracting, as you've mentioned, the attention of all the world and all the figures. Now, around 4 days ago, the head of the International Chamber of Shipping visited the new Suez Canal project. Could you please tell us a little bit more about this visit?
Such a visit is very, very important, because it's a message to the world that Egypt can do the impossible. It's a message to the world that the people of the Suez Canal are heroes, because they serve the world sea trade. The head of the ICS, International Chamber of Shipping, accompanied by all the responsibles, or all the responsible people all over the world in the field of maritime and navigational activities, represented by the owners of ships, operators, also ports, visit the Suez Canal, and they say that to the chairman of the Suez Canal, Admiral Manish, who spends nowadays 24 hours without sleep. We were very sorry because we were mistaken in our figures. We said that impossible to do the canal in 1 year by all figures and by all statistics. But after we came here and reached Egypt, and after the digging of the Suez Canal, we came here to salute and to raise the cap for all the Egyptian people and for their administration, because in fact we didn't believe, and we confess that we believe that you couldn't do such a canal in 1 year. And this is an international certificate that the Egyptian worker can do the impossible in hard times.
Sir, thank you so much for being with us today on Nile TV International.
Thank you very much. Most welcome anytime. Have a nice day. Wish all success, welfare, and prosperity for our great nation, Egypt.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The Cairo Criminal Court postponed the verdict in the retrial of Al Jazeera television journalists until August the 29th. The 7 defendants are accused of instigating violence through their work in Al Qatari satellite channel, forging videos and spreading rumors and lies. The journalists were originally sentenced to between 7 and 10 years in prison on charges including spreading lies to help the Brotherhood terrorist organization. Egypt's High Court ordered a retrial in January. Still with the local scene, the armed forces killed a leading terrorist in a shootout in North Sinai. Army spokesman Brigadier Mohammed Samir said that Salim Sulaiman al-Haram, a leader of Ansar Bayt al-Maqdis terrorist group, was asked to turn himself in by a group of soldiers that surrounded his house in the town of Sheikh Zayed, but he refused and opened fire on the troops and attempted to blow himself up before being shot dead. The group has claimed responsibility for attacking several military checkpoints in North Sinai. To the regional arena and to Syria, where the Syrian army and allied militia have regained control over several northwestern villages from insurgents on a plain crucial for defending coastal areas that Damascus holds. The military is battling insurgents for control of Sahl al-Ghab, plain that runs alongside the western coastal mountains as well as lying close to Hama city. The details.
The Syrian army and allied militia have regained control over several northwestern villages from insurgents on a plain crucial for defending coastal areas that Damascus holds. The military is battling insurgents including Al-Qaeda's Syria Wing Nusra Front and Ahrar al-Sham for control of Sahl al-Ghab, a plain that runs alongside the western coastal mountains as well as lying close